I swear, if this is not recording this time, I'm just gonna chuck myself out the window. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Reacting Chill with me, Dika. So, last time on Bleach, we met a Quincy. I'm assuming maybe one of the last Quincy's. I'm not sure if he's one of the last left of his race, but an ancient human clan, Uryu Ushida. So he was one of Ichigo's classmates, and I remember him because they did pan on him when he was in the crafts club. So he's a Quincy. He knows all about Rukia. He knows Ichigo's a Soul Reaper, and not just that, he has this huge hate vendetta against all the Soul Reapers. We do find out after Rukia goes to see Kisuke that the Quincy's and Soul Reapers always clashed. Quincy's wanting to kill Hollows, feeling as if they had no redemption in them, so they were just going to kill them all together, whereas the Soul Reapers wanted to help, you could say, exercise the souls, to sort of help cleanse them, to help that person move on to the Soul Society. However, the way Uryu was going on, I felt like there was another vendetta. There was something, he had like a personal grudge, as if Ichigo so I can't even say Ichigo slept with his mum or something. Like, he had a personal grudge against him. So what does he do? He decides to duel it out with Ichigo by unleashing all the hollows of the Shadow Realm up onto the earth. And he said to him, basically, I know I'm going to be able to kill all the hollows, but can you kill all the hollows? And he challenged him, and whoever kills most of the hollows is the better Reaper. But on the flip side, we did also find out that Mad Lad Chad was able to summon, I don't know what it called, but, and I remember seeing this in the opening. I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't really pay much attention to it. Not just him, because he was able to, I know that he, last time when he went up against the Hollow, using directions from Rukia, was able to kind of land lucky hits on the Hollow, but this time he could almost see its presence to the point where he could physically see the Hollow. He went out to save Karin. He was actually, no, sorry, he ran into Karin while he was running away from the Hollow, because the Hollow, like Uryu had suggested, was going to go after people with high spiritual energy. Ichigo automatically thought of his sisters, Karin, because obviously he knows he's aware of them, but again, Uryu was like 3 steps ahead and said they're not the only people who you should be worried about. Which brings me to Tatsuki started seeing spirits too, which is crazy, because now I think it's got something to do with both Tatsuki, Orihime, and Chad came into contact with Ichigo and a Hollow at some point in the beginning of the series. So I feel like, was he be able to even not transfer, but did he also transfer his spiritual energy to them? I'm really intrigued to see how they were able to see spirits, because they weren't able to see anything before. Tatsuki did note or say to Orihime they both had that same weird dream when Rukia, Men in Black styles, wipes their memory and sort of replaces it with something else, but they both had the same strange dream. But she feels like it's got something more to do with that. And the episode ended when we saw another Hollow creeping around, and Orihime could sense the presence. So yeah, so it was a really good 2 episodes, episode and a review last week. But I'm gonna make sure that we record the next 2 episodes. So here we are with episode 13 and 14.
Where the hell have you been? You need to help me find Yuzu and Kari.
What's the big deal? They're back home. I just saw both of them.
Good. Then I'll go find Uryu.
What's up with Orihime?
Yeah, because there's a Hollow there.
I'll just have to kiss you. Let's hurry. I'll make us curry popcorn, Tatsuki. Hey,
It's because she probably senses that thing.
I'm certain of it now. If we stay here, we're in danger.
Oh,
What
she's
if
gonna.
it's still here?
Yeah, she's gonna get.
Tatsuki! Don't go!
Oh god. Oh, is it gonna like suck your brains out? What is that?
You can see me, can't
Oh. There's so many.
Uryu! Sensei, this is for you.
Oh.
You have got to run Chizuru, now! Get going!
Oh. That's what was breaking the windows and stuff before.
Whoa, are you alright?
Ow.
What just happened? Wow, I don't know what it was that just hit me, but I'm bleeding. Still, it doesn't really hurt that much.
Is it possessed, maybe?
What? Laughing. What?
Oh, it's possessed.
Control of it!
Now, everyone, it's time to get started.
Did she possess other people? Yeah. Yeah, Katsuki to the rescue. Get it, girl.
You can see that creature as well?
No, I don't see it, but
Yeah.
I can sense its presence. Move back! Now!
I feel sorry for the people being possessed.
Let go! Huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Run, Tatsuki!
Chizuru?
Oh crap!
How shall I make you suffer? Shut up! What? You see? What do you think you're doing? Let go! Let go! Now go!
Oh,
Orihime, please don't cry. Hello? Earth to Orihime? Anybody home in there?
It's because of you that I was able to grow my hair long again. Don't cry.
oh. Oh, here we go. It's her power and transformation. Epic.
Anyone who tries to hurt Tatsuki will have to answer to me!
Okay, birds.
We are the Shun Shun Rikka, your 6 princess shielding flowers. Well, maybe people like Ichigo Kurosaki can see us too. Why him? Well, it's because of him that we were born.
You talk too much!
Korodon.
Hinachiku, Bygone, Lily, Santen Keshu, Santen Keshu, I reject!
Tsubaki.
Koten Zachu, I reject! Possible!
Well done, Orihime. Oh, Kisuke. And there's Chad, yeah. I was just gonna say, I think is Kisuke is assembling the Soul Avengers. Okay.
Where should I begin?
Damn it. Damn that Uryu. Something's wrong. Sensei, I swear to you I will avenge your death.
These hollows are small fry, practically harmless. I still don't have my strength back.
Oh, Cone, of course.
Sis, look behind you! So this is actually the first time I've spoken to you face to face. And the strong spiritual energy he has released during that fight has had an influence on you. So, well then, let's go.
Oh.
Then come see for yourself what lies beyond the gate.
Oh yeah.
Oh no you don't!
Ichigo.
You, this is just a contest to see which of us can kill the most hollows. But I'm not interested in playing your game. Fight me! Look up there.
Whoa. Are they become like a mega hollow?
I, Uryu Ishida, the last of the Queen. Really, the last one?
Yeah.
They were systematically killed by the Soul Reapers.
It was a very difficult and painful decision for the Soul Reapers.
They were called balancers or regulators. The number of souls in the Soul Society and in the human world does not change by much. They just trade places between the two worlds. That any soul which left the Soul Society for the human world would never return. The balance between the two worlds would have collapsed. It would have meant the apocalypse.
Really?
What the? They just keep on coming.
There's a lot of them. Aww.
Ichigo Kurosaki, you are completely insane. I don't know who was right and who was wrong. The Soul Reapers or the Quincy's. It was so long ago that I don't see how it matters anymore.
True.
In fact, when I heard that story, I think I sided more with the Soul Reapers than I did with the Quincy's until my sensei was murdered.
We must do all we can, Uryu, to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again.
He kept encouraging them to work together. But the Soul Reapers always had the same answer to his efforts. Don't interfere with our work.
Then one day, 5 hollows appeared and surrounded Sensei. sensei was under constant surveillance, and yet it was 2 hours before they finally arrived.
Uryu blames the fact that they weren't there to help him, considering he was offering, not advice, but offering methods to help defeat the Hollows. Which is an interesting point, which I also kind of agree with Uryu. If he was under constant surveillance, wouldn't there be somebody on site, considering it took 2 hours for somebody showed up? But I think he personally blames that, you know what, you should have been there to protect him. Considering the Soul Reapers go on about cleansing the souls.
That's the reason that this is so important. Why have to prove to you and to all Soul Reapers the superior strength of the Quincy? Watch and witness the true power of—
Shut up already! Enemy. You say we're at opposite poles, but I say when two warriors are heavily outnumbered, the trick is to fight back to back.
That's so cool.
Look at the sky. No.
Oh dear God.
What is that?
I'm more concerned with... Oh. Hey. Oh.
I thought you might need a little assistance,
Sick.
Ichigo.
What the hell is this?
Menos Grande.
Grande.
It's a huge hollow, born from hundreds and hundreds of hollows mixed and folded.
Don't look at me here, sir.
That thing is too big for any of our weapons.
Look at that. He's gonna get booted.
Sure, I'm good as new.
Oh.
That was the dumbest charge I think I've ever seen. Up and let's try a different strategy.
Oh, what's just happened? He doesn't even realize.
What did you do, Uryu?
Orihime, do you see Ichigo and Uryu next to him?
Yes. Mr. Urahara said to watch from here.
Now we are ready to fight that thing.
You're not serious.
Quit taking things so personally and just release that energy already.
How do I do that?
You mean to tell me you don't know?
What is it doing? Oh my God, is it shooting a solo beam? Why? Get out! He's holding it back.
Then, if through some incident that pressure were to be suddenly released.
Oh, I wonder. What are we about to see? Epic. Wow.
Menos is retreating.
I'll come back for you another day, bruh.
I just saved your butt. Cleaned up your mess, too. Congratulations or something.
Oh, yeah. Is his Zanpakuto gonna grow bigger? Oh.
Zanpakuto. It's breaking down.
Oh, what does that mean?
I've got to do something.
Oh.
I must endure the pain.
But what's happening to you?
I have to make sure you survive so I have someone to pummel in the future. Stay alive, Soul Reaper, so I can beat the hell out of you. Can you ever forgive me, grandfather?
Oh.
How am I supposed to beat up that guy? He's just so pathetic.
Alright, so that was episodes 13 and 14, and oh my goodness. And good news, I'm still recording, so oh my God, where do I start? So many things. I had a feeling, and I mentioned this last time, that the fact that I assumed it was going to be both Orihime. So let's start with episode 13. I assumed it was going to be both Orihime and Tatsuki that was going to get some power, but it made sense that it was just Orihime who was able to get the power. Or maybe it's not Tatsuki's turn just yet, but I had a feeling it had something to do with the fact that they had that run-in with Ichigo, and because of Ichigo, and Kisuke explained it perfectly, Ichigo's incredible spiritual energies had an influence on both of them, and they were awakening into their own literal spiritual powers. So we had that episode where Orihime could see that thing that was lurking. It was another hollow, and we found out a little bit more. I know that we got a bit more of Orihime's backstory in that episode with her brother Sora, but we found out that she used to get bullied, and her and Tatsuki's relationship, why do I say that? Her and Tatsuki's relationship had come from the fact that Tatsuki wasn't one of the people bullying her. She said that if anyone ever hurts you or treats you bad, I'll beat them up. So she was always out there sticking her neck out for her girl. And in that moment, I suppose when Tatsuki was attacked by that hollow, that controlling hollow, she wanted to be the one to protect Tatsuki. So, you know, not to cry, I'll be the one here for you. And that way she was able to awaken. Now, she was able to summon the Shun Shun Rikka. I did look into so the Shun Shun Rikka, their names, and I'll probably have to write this down so I could actually remember their powers. I cannot remember the chant, nor I'll go back in the episode, the chant or the combinations they do, but they're Ayume, Bygone, Hinagiku, Lily, Shinyo, and Tsubaki. So it's a technique. So we had 3 of them combined to make a shield. So whatever the technique is, and she hits reject, 3 of them can combine to make a shield for her to use as a force field. 2 of them are able to, I'll need to go back and check, but that was Orihime's power. And then even, I forgot the one that was speaking to Orihime said that we were born because of Ichigo. It was because of him that they were even able to come into existence. So that was really interesting. And I'm assuming that's the same, we did find out that is the same reason that Chad was able to have his arm of justice, and Kisuke knew this was going to happen, or he anticipated this happening. So that's why he brought them in and said, you could either forget about it, or if you come with me, you'll see for yourself. And shout out to Kisuke's team out there battling hollows. So that was epic, their fight against the small fry. We found out, oh my god, this episode had a little bit more of the lore. We found out that the Soul Reapers had killed, they were the ones who sent out, they were the ones who sent an order, systematic killing of the Quincy's. And yes, Uryu is in fact the last Quincy alive. I did notice that his which hand was it? Was it his bow? Was it his bow hand or his arrow shooting hand? I forgot which hand it was, which was slowly bleeding. I think it was his so that must take a huge amount of not just stress but pressure off his own limbs. So that looks absolutely painful. So we had found out a bit more of the backstory, which I'm glad we did. And we found out that Soul Reapers used to be called balancers, and that souls, it's almost like a balance. So souls in the Soul Society will eventually end up in the human world, vice versa. Souls in the human world will end up coming back to the Soul Society. It took me a bit to get my head around that. So that's how he keeps equilibrium, and the Soul Reapers cleansing the hollows, or it was able to rebut and make sure they refill up the souls in the Soul Society, which then later on get born into the human world. But then she did mention that yes, if souls that leave the Soul Society, a lot of them never came back because the Quincy's were killing them as hollows, and therefore this was disrupting the equilibrium and potentially could lead to an apocalypse. So that was very interesting to know. I didn't realise. Now I'm literally more intrigued. I wonder if they were born or when they do move into the human world, how does that work? I really want to know a bit more about how the Soul Society works, because we hear a bit more and it gets a lot more interesting. It's definitely not as basic as heaven and hell. Well, heaven, we definitely know that doors of the underworld exist, because that hollow from the other episode was definitely taken down somewhere. A lot of the time, by the sounds of it, if the hollows are such an effect on the equilibrium of the souls going from the Soul Society to the human world and back, there must be a lot more hollows around than I anticipated. I thought they were far and few in between, and then you'd get the few hollows or the souls holes that had stayed on longer in this world than they should have. But by the way Rukia made it sound, I feel like there are more hollows, and they're not just, they just turn up here and there. There are more hollows that actually exist. So therefore the Soul Reapers cleansing them helps refill up the bucket in the Soul Society, and therefore another soul. That is just so intriguing, and that means that's nothing before we get to, what's his name, Menos Grande. He did look a bit scary, but between Menos Grande and Ichigo, we got a chance to find out that even when Uryu touched Ichigo's sword, the overflowing power in there was able to charge up his bow. So I wonder how Uryu not only charges up his bow, it must be linked to his own spiritual energy. And how does that work? He got a boost. So Ichigo, when he went up against the Menos Grande, he had to unleash. He assumed that he was always on max, but he almost had to unleash his full power, which I can understand if you don't know how to control it. And he had to unleash a huge amount. It was going to go out of control, and that's what we saw at the end. And I think that was really touching. Not only did we find out the sensei was Uryu's grandfather, but it was nice at the end when Uryu went out of his way to save. He was like, how, if I don't save you, how am I going to ever beat you? I forgot to go back and touch upon, obviously, the whole argument. Uryu just always had the vendetta against the Soul Reapers, not just because they were killing the Quincy's, because he blames them specifically for the death of his grandfather. Kisuke was able to get Orihime and Chad to watch what was happening. They clearly could see Menos Grande walking through the park. So that Uryu finally was ready to move past what happened with his grandfather. He wasn't going to allow this Soul Reaper to die, and obviously in the midst of it sacrificing his arm. But I'm sure he'll find a way. Kisuke has something up in his shop that will help his arm. I'm sure he'll be able to be back on it, and I'm wondering how that conversation is going to be like once Chad and Orihime speak to Ichigo. Those are 2 fantastic episodes. We got so many things. We've learned about so many things. I don't think I left anything out, but there were 2 jam-packed episodes. I'm really enjoying this. I like that slowly every episode we get to expand the world. We get to know a bit more about the Soul Society. I want to know, it's a bit scary to think about it, if Ichigo almost went out of control, or his power could have almost technically killed him, and obviously Uryu went out of his way to protect him. I wonder what the maximum is. What are we looking at? What is the breadth of Ichigo's power? I forgot to mention, yes, Ichigo and Uryu decided to work together in the end before, I just love saying his name, Menos Grande turned up. So they were there, and obviously Kisuke and his boys turned up to start smoking hollows. But that was it. That was a fantastic episode. Thank you so much. If it is your first time here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and obviously comment down below what your thoughts of the episode were. I'll see you guys next time.